Welcome to RCAM. I'm your host, Ryan, and thank you for tuning in today. Why does the lighting seem a little off right now? I think we're good. We'll see. We'll see. Hold on. All right. All right. We're good. All right. I hope all of you guys are having a super blessed day. So, today we are going to be talking about the Daily Wire's 10-year anniversary, which I think is pretty cool, and the release of the trailer for the Pendragon Cycle, which is something that I've been very excited for. So, I'm thrilled that they finally got it out. A second, I just gotta tweak some stuff. And we'll also be talking about Victoria's Secret staying woke. Yep, because they just can't help themselves. We'll also be talking about Dungeons and Dragons just being insufferably gay, and we got a couple other stories down the pipeline. Just kind of working through my backlog of stuff. It's like I do this thing where I just accumulate tabs of the things I want to talk about, and then I have like just this uh, overwhelming amount of tabs of stories that I gotta that I want to talk about. So, we're going to be covering a lot today. As much as I can get through. So, the goal is to get through as much as possible before my wife gets home. So, it's going to kind of feel like a fire hose today, but that's okay because the Daily Wire celebrated 10 years. So, that is awesome. Now, for those of you who may be unaware, I am a huge fan of the Daily Wire for a couple different reasons. I originally started really paying attention to the Daily Wire when Matt Walsh came over, but I wasn't ignorant of them. I knew that they had, Ben Shapiro, and I liked, what he was doing to change the culture. I appreciated, his voice in the conservative movement. So when Walsh went over there, it was like, no brainer to me that that was the next big career move for him. So I followed Walsh over there. I became a subscriber, and I've been supporting them ever since. I went for Matt, but I along the way I started to actually believe in this organization and their mission and their vision and what they were ultimately trying to do, because I saw them become a rival to the mainstream media in a way I never thought was possible. And I do attribute the work that the people did at the Daily Wire, the guys at the Daily Wire, to actually changing the culture for the better. I don't think if it weren't for them, we would have some of the wins that we've had on transgenderism. Because they helped Matt produce What is a Woman, which was that I think led to turning the tides on the conversation about transgenderism. They also helped ban child mutilation in Tennessee and helped set the precedent for that to happen all over the country. They fought the Biden admin with their unconstitutional vaccine mandates and beat them, by the way. So it's because of them that I still have a job, and I wasn't ultimately let go for refusing the vaccine. And then they created children's programming that my kids watch to this day. That's really high quality and well done, and they are taking on Hollywood by producing some high quality entertainment. They had Run, Hide, Fight. They had Shut In. They had um, Terror on the Prairie. They had Lady Ballers. I mean, they have done some incredible work and released, I think, really high quality content. And I'm very grateful for them. I'm grateful that we have um, this coalition of thinkers and creators and builders that are actually changing the culture and are actually trying to rival Hollywood. I think that's incredible. And I don't think enough conservatives give them credit for it. They get a lot of crap, a lot of crap because Ben's a Jew. That's basically it. They get a lot of crap because Ben's a Jew, and everything good that they're doing is completely overshadowed. And I think they owe a lot to Ben. I think they owe a lot to Jeremy Boring, and I think they owe a lot to the guys at the Daily Wire for being able to even have some of the conversations that we're having. Because these guys were leading the charge. It's very easy to criticize people when you haven't done anything great in your life. These people have truly done great things, and I'm very grateful for them. So congratulations, Daily Wire, on 10 years of kicking ass and doing incredible work. I owe you guys, really, truly, from the bottom of my heart. I'm grateful for what you do. What you do. It's because of you I have a job. It's because of you I can feed my family. It's because of you I have a house. Believe it or not, if I lost my house at that time, I would have not qualified for my mortgage. So it's like it's personal for me, and I could not be more grateful. It's because of you um, that my daughters don't have to watch like gay woke shows. They can watch high quality shows like Gus Plus Us, which, by the way, just throwing that out there. If your kid, you have like a 4 to 5 year old, or a 3 to 5 year old, Gus Plus Us is terrific. Just a great show, and great people that make that show. So yeah, just all around, just good stuff that they're doing. So I did want to start off this video with a clip shared by Jeremy Boring, just kind of highlighting some of what they've done, and giving us a sneak peek into the Pendragon Cycle as well. So this is from Jeremy, and he's been pretty MIA recently. So to see him kind of reemerge is really nice. Oh, hold on a second. There you go. See him reemerge is really nice. So this is from Jeremy Boring. A decade ago, we started a little company in my pool house. Over the next 10 years, that company deployed over $1 billion in the fight for our nation and our culture, and we won. I was proud to lead it during the time, and I'm proud of the hundreds of employees who contributed so much, and I look forward to seeing what it does next.
Now, speaking of something kind of
wait, there is an echo. Now I gotta find where that's coming from. Give me 1 second. Where's the echo coming from? Where is it? Okay. All right, let's try this again.
amazing. So we are going to actually be bringing out in the near future, Pendragon. So you've heard a lot about this over the course of the last couple of years. It is the most ambitious TV project ever done by an independent studio. I don't think there's any question.
Why is that doing that? Do you guys hear an echo? I feel like I hear an echo there. I'm just trying to see if there's maybe something else I have open that's causing that. Window capture, mode of capture.
Question about this. It looks beautiful. It really looks, you're going to see some of it in a moment. We're going to show you the trailer for Pendragon in a moment. You should just understand that we are a company that tries to do ambitious, big things, that tries to make a difference in the culture. And I think you're going to love it. Here is Jeremy Boring presenting the trailer to you.
Thanks, fellas, and congratulations on 10 incredible years. You know, it's humbling to see the little company that started in your garage grow into the dominant conservative new media organization in the country, and to deploy more than $1 billion in the fight for our nation and our culture. It's a lot for 10 years. From the biggest and most important political podcast of the last decade, The Ben Shapiro Show, to the biggest and most important documentaries of the last decade, Am I Racist and What is a Woman? From the depth and beauty of Jordan Peterson's Exodus series to the wit and wisdom of Andrew Klavan, to whatever it is that Michael Knowles does. It's been the honor of a lifetime to be in this fight with you guys and with the hundreds of employees who've given their best to our cause. It wasn't always easy. From partnering with Dallas Sonier on movies like Run, Hide, Fight, to launching a chocolate company in a single day, to creating our own children's entertainment platform, we've never been afraid to take big risks. We've punched way above our weight. Hearts have been changed, laws have been changed, children's lives and bodies have been saved, elections have been won. We've even gotten to help people on their journey to find God and restore their marriages, improve their lives. It's been quite a privilege. But I always come back to the audience. You guys listen to the shows, you watch the videos, you share the memes, you buy the razors and the cigars, you support our advertisers, you subscribe. You've been the real change makers these last 10 years. Thank you. There's more to say, of course, and more people to thank, but a company can't run on nostalgia alone. The Daily Wire has always been about fighting the left and building the future. So tonight I want to give you a glimpse of what's next. It's the culmination of years of effort to build culture, not just to criticize it. It's the biggest, most ambitious project in the company's history. And it's finally coming to Daily Wire Plus this January. Please enjoy the world premiere of the first trailer for the Pendragon Cycle, Rise of the Merlin.
Before I get into that, hey KMD, I see you. No, the audio sounded off to me. I think it was just a little too loud, so it should sounds good to me now. So we're good. All right, let's play this trailer. By the way, guys, this trailer looks sick. It looks honestly like HBO quality production. The production is top notch. They went all out for this. It looks fantastic. So I'm really excited for you guys to see it.
This land is in a welter of confusion. There are more kings than sheep, more princes than crows on a battlefield. All seeking to snatch what they can, when they can, without a care for who suffers. Until this island is ruled by one who wields both justice and mercy, there will be no peace.
Look at them. Boys playing the game of kings. They say they have the Merlin with them. The Merlin died long before you and I were born.
I've seen what you can do.
This is where it begins.
That looks sick. I mean, that looks incredible. I mean, top notch production all the way. So I'm very, very impressed by what they're producing. It looks amazing, and I can't wait to see it. I really can't. So I guess they're releasing the first two episodes. KMD says they're trying to be like Game of Thrones. Hey, Game of Thrones is very good. So hopefully Game of Thrones, but like without all the like pornographic content. And then then I think I could 10 out of 10 recommend it. But it looks very good. I'm I'm very excited for it, and I think it's going to do well. It almost seems like they could have done this as like a movie with a theatrical release. That would have been cool. But to release it for the DW subscribers is good. They should try to like get some deals with like Amazon and Netflix so that the show can go there too, because I think this is one of those things, the more reach the better for them. They want eyes on it. It would be a shame to, have this beautiful show on the Daily Wire alone and then not other people be able to watch it, because the idea is you want to produce entertainment like this to pull people in, but you need people to see it first. So I do think maybe releasing, like an episode or two to the general public would be cool on some other platforms, and then kind of, funnel them toward the DW subscription might be the way. Another cool thing is you did see Brett Cooper in this. I'm hoping that she has at least enough of a good relationship with the folks at the DW where she'll continue to act in it. But we'll see what they do with her character. Obviously, they can recast her if need be, but it would be cool to see her at least continue to collaborate with them on this project. And it does look like Jeremy is still with the company or involved to a degree, so I think that's good news. His wording was very specific. So that is something that, he was very intentional about his words when he was speaking. It basically indicating that he's no longer in a leadership role. But I do hope he stays on and continues the creative projects, because it'd be a shame to get, one season of, the Pendragon Cycle and that's it, and nothing else happens with it, because it looks incredible. So hopefully it is the story is as good as the trailer makes the show out to be. So I'm very much looking forward to that. They also had their first episode of Friendly Fire, which is basically a roundtable discussion with Walsh and Michael Knowles and Ben Shapiro and Andrew Clavin. And that was interesting. I did watch the premiere episode and there was some good conversation. I did feel, I will be honest with you, I felt like Matt was holding his punches a little bit. I do feel like that. I feel like he definitely has more to say, and he's not saying it. Maybe, I don't know. I do think he held back though. KMD writes, I'm about to hopefully watch The Social Network, a movie about the creators of Facebook. I heard it was a great movie. Yeah, I heard so too. It has Eisenberg in it, and what's the other guy's name? Andrew Garfield. I actually saw a trailer for it not that long ago, and it made me want to watch it. I've never seen it, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. You'll have to let me know how it is. All right, we'll play this clip from Friendly Fire about this discussion, because this is like a continuation too of this conversation that we were having yesterday about the leaked group messages, or I think, no wait, maybe this one's about Israel. Yeah, no, this is about the leak group messages, and I think this is a solid conversation.
For me, the story here is not the group chat, because these are private messages between people that no one knows. These are not relevant people. And the only reason why the media is showing us this, the only reason why they're doing this is obviously it's a political hit. And in particular, they're trying to distract from the fact that the left has spent the last month, I mean, really much longer than that, but especially the last month, openly celebrating political violence. And now we have a attorney general candidate, who's probably gonna be the next attorney general of Virginia, who was in his own messages saying, not as a joke, that he wants his political opponents to die and even their children to die. And he was very specific that he was not joking about it. And so the left is looking to distract from that, and their way of doing it is by somehow obtaining these messages and putting them out to distract us. And some Republicans have been very quick to offer their denunciations, to say how offended they are, how horrible these messages are, that everybody involved should be fired, that they should never be allowed in politics again. I think that response is foolish. I think it gives the left exactly what they want. I have really appreciated J.D. Vance's response. Now, I think the vice president has struck exactly the right chord on this, because he's not going to play the game. And instead, what he's done is he has redirected the conversation back to the thing that the left is trying to distract us from. There's one reason and one reason only that this story exists, and it's to get us to stop talking about Jay Jones and the leftists who've been celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk for the last month. That's the only reason that the story exists. And so J.D. Vance's point is, no, I'm not going to play that game with you. I'm not going to give you what you want. Instead, I'm going to redirect the conversation back to the thing that you're trying to distract us from. And I think that that's exactly the right move. For me,
Yeah, I largely agree with Matt Walsh here. Now, Ben Shapiro does end up pushing back on Walsh, and or at least challenging him to a degree, where we can't ignore some of the issues happening on the right. But he does say that it should be dealt with in house. And I said yesterday, I think, yeah, that's probably the right way to approach it. But it was a good first episode. I do hope that Matt, speaks a little bit more, because I know generally how he feels about like our involvement in Israel, and I think it would make for more interesting television, honestly, if he actually just voiced his opinions. And we could see Ben and Andrew Klavan and Matt go out it. And I think Matt and Michael are probably on the same page, and Andrew Klavan and Ben are on the same page when it comes to support for Israel. So I would like to see them dig a little bit deeper in that, because I do think there's a conversation to be had. All right. So next story is going to be the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Now, no, I'm not going to show you the images of the scantily clad women featured in the Victoria's Secret fashion show. I'm not going to do that. Because so this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I do not think the show is like good in general, because it does promote like scantily clad women. I don't think that's wholesome. I don't think that's good. But in addition to featuring scantily clad women, and I'm going to try to show this without really showing too much. Yeah, there we go. So they also had a scantily clad man. So this is from Alex Clark. Victoria's Secret is dead in the water. Nobody wants to see men in lingerie. And guess what? The pants don't fool us. So this individual is also wearing pants. We know what he is hiding: disgusting filth, disrespecting and disparaging the very women your brand was allegedly built for. There isn't a single reason to support this company. The fabric contributes to hormone issues in women, and now they're funding the delusional ideology that is erasing women and making our space less safe. I do have to say, this should be, honestly, for Victoria's Secret, a brand nightmare, actually. Like, if they were already canceled for being woke, because like this is, I think, the first time in a long time they're bringing back the fashion show, or maybe that was last year. I don't know. I don't follow these things. But this should actually damage the brand irreparably, unless they come out and actually say, hey, we're going to stop featuring gender confused men, because we as a culture are done with it. We are done with it. Every time somebody tries to insert this nonsense into their brand, it's just off-putting. It makes me want to have nothing to do with the brand. It makes me, not to say that I'm the target audience for that anyway. I'm not, but I would definitely say, like, I would encourage my wife to buy elsewhere for sure. Well, maybe I guess I am the target audience in a way. But I would encourage my wife to buy elsewhere because of stuff like that. Because they continue to support this woke progressive bullcrap that is just insane. It's insane. Can we wake up? Can we finally wake up? Like, for those of you holding out on this insanity, why? Why? Nobody's down with it, all right? Like to appease the few progressive homosexuals you have left, like, is it really worth it? I just don't get it. I don't get it. From a business standpoint, it just makes no sense at all because you're appealing to such a tiny minority and alienating the people that would actually want to buy your product. Do you think trans men are the main people buying your product? Really? Do you think trans men are the main people buying lingerie? Jesus, man. Like, just wake up. It's just so frustrating. It's so freaking frustrating. And as women, like, aren't you tired of this nonsense? Uh man, give me 1 second. I gotta go get wifey and help her take her socks off. So I'm just gonna pause. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Candy writes, man, the only one I like is Michael Knowles. I do not really care for the other Daily Wire hosts. Oh, man. I like Matt, man. Matt's my favorite. He's my favorite host by far. I like Matt. He's rough around the edges, but he's a good guy, man. He genuinely does care, and I think that's why he's like as visceral as he is. Michael Knowles is growing on me, by the way. JW, yeah, they do deserve a lot of credit. They're incredible. They do incredible work. I'm very pleased with everything the Daily Wire has done. They are unfortunately they get a lot of hate that they just simply do not deserve. They don't deserve it. Really good people over there, and I'm very grateful for what they've done. KMD says it's ridiculous, but it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, well, when it comes to the trans stuff, man, I'm sick of it, dude. I've been sick of it I have been sick of this since its conception. Because I've always recognized it being an awful thing. I've always recognized it as being insanity. Even if the rest of the world was clapping along with it like seals, I was not. and I was opposed to it, and I was very vocal about it, even when it was very unpopular. But now it's not even unpopular. Like it's safe to actually criticize this stuff. I just shared the video yesterday of Keira Knightley laughing. She got asked a question about JK Rowling's criticisms of the trans movement, and she basically laughed at the question. Basically said, well, I guess we're all just gonna have to learn to get along and and tolerate different opinions. And that's what's needed. We do have to laugh at it. We have to get to a point where it's seen as ridiculous and insane. Speaking of ridiculous and insane and people who have not learned that lesson, this is Dungeons and Dragons, y'all. So I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. I've always wanted to, so it's not I'm opposed to it. I just never have. But I gotta say, this does not make me want to play it. So they shared this image, and artistically it just looks kind of lame and not what I think of when I think of Dungeons and Dragons. But when you look closer, the longer you look at this image, the gayer it's going to become. Okay? It just gets progressively more gay. That's the spell. That's the spell on it. It just gets gayer the longer you look at it. So here you have this homosexual blue guy with a horns embracing another homosexual. Here you got these little trans dragon thingies waving their trans maracas. Here you have the progressive lesbian playing the mandolin. Here you have gay grannies, lesbian grannies. Looks like here you have like a drag queen. And then, a couple of feminine men. Some sort of gay pirate back here. Masculine looking elf chick. Probably a gay owl. I'm going to assume that's a gay owl too. This, I don't know. I don't even know what the hell that thing is called. I'm sure it has a name. I don't know its name. But it's looking lovingly at the homosexuals. You got the dragon. And yeah, this is really lame. Oh, you even got you got the trans representation back over here. And the little flags on the on the roof. I do think the only redeeming thing about this post is actually the comments, okay? So here's my comment, which actually got a pretty decent amount of likes, 455. How did something so cool become so insufferably gay? I'm laughing at my own comment. All right. How many DEI hires stacked on top of each other does it take to destroy something this thoroughly? Kingham Lee, gay. Lauren Chen, this is gay. This is just San Francisco. This is why your game has tanked completely. This is revolting, and I'm not even in the fandom. I'm just feeling bad for everyone who is. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is what this thing is supposed to look like. All right, that's badass. Right? That's a force to be reckoned with. But they turned it into this. It's like a Care Bear. That's what it's like. They let me. What is it called? How do we go from this to this? Yeah, it's like, let's take this monster and turn it into a gay Care Bear. That's what they did. Oh man, I'm done. Yeah, this is the art. This is sick. This is old art, I think. Yeah, that's cool. That's what it should look like. That's cool. But they have followed the way of Magic the Gathering and other games that are just going woke at the most the worst time to be woke, because it's just very unpopular. People don't like it. We're tired of it. We're sick of it. And honestly, I think we're at a point where you can't save them. You're not going to be able to redeem the brand. It's just not going to happen. So the only play that you have right now is to just build alternatives. Like, if you're tired of this, you got to invent your own game. That's the only thing you could do, because I think the rot goes too deep. And then maybe once, there's some healthy competition, these people will start to rethink what they've done and fire their woke lefties who have infiltrated their company and destroyed it from the inside out, and actually replace it with people that love the brand. We'll see, though. Okay. I got only a couple more stories. I'm not gonna go too long today, guys, because I want to spend time with my wife. That's always my excuse for getting off early, is I want to spend time with my wife. I think it's a good excuse. It's not an excuse, because I want to do it. All right. I saw this, and it's just tragic. So just be careful out there, y'all. So Korean streamer Yoo Ha has been found dead after an attack by a longtime viewer who donated almost $70K to her. The incident occurred after she tried to cut ties with the man in his 50s. I do gotta say, if you do have somebody that's giving you inordinate amounts of money, it should be a red flag. All right, there's something not right there, because normal people don't do that. And if they have an unhealthy demand on your attention, that should be a red flag that you need to do something about this person before they become a actual threat. And it seems like this was the case with this person. It seems like there are probably some warning signs if he's giving her this much money. And I feel bad, and also, we can't trust these people. You can spend time with your wife anytime. It's but yeah, you gotta be careful, because you don't know who is who's watching your content and how these people react. So that's why I'm very careful too about like self-doxing myself. I don't post photos of my kids. I don't share my last name or my address or anything like that, because not to say, I am sure if somebody digged hard enough, they could find that information. But I'm definitely not going to make it easy for them. And if they did make the unfortunate mistake of coming to my house, well, it would not go well for them. My house is well protected. So it is sad, though. Stories like this do break my heart. And this is obviously a bigger problem for female streamers when it comes to stalkers. She's far from the only one. You've had these female streamers going out in public and getting harassed and assaulted. So it's just, you got to be on guard. You have to be mindful of individuals like this, especially if you're in the streaming space or you're making content. This is part of the risk, and this is kind of what you're signing up for too. I don't like it, but it does come with the territory, but it's something that you should be mindful of. And if you have kids, there are weirdos out there. So you got to monitor their online activity and make sure that they are safe. Okay, let's see. Next story. I saw this. So Kim Kardashian said on the Call Her Daddy podcast that she would like to know the cost of a milk carton. I don't have a concept of what certain simple things cost. I'd like to know a little bit more about what a milk carton cost. Celebrities, they're just like us, am I right? Am I right? They're just like us. I will give Kim credit. I don't know the cost of milk, but it's not because I'm ultra wealthy and I can have servants buy it for me. It's because my wife does the shopping. So I'm clueless when it comes to how much something costs. So anytime I do go to the grocery store and buy something, I end up spending like $600 for like, like 2 bags of groceries because I just have no idea what I'm doing. But my wife does. So, in Kim's defense, she is just like most men in America because we don't know the cost of milk because we don't buy the groceries. I did look it up though, and it is like $2.89 at Walmart, something like that, roughly $3 for a 2-gallon thing of milk. Also, I don't think I would know this either because my wife will go to Costco and she'll buy like the 3 packs of milk, which is another thing. It's like, all right, my wife, I love her, but she doesn't have this concept that our family, we're only like 4 people right now, and two of those people is like my 2-year-old daughter and my 7-year-old daughter, and they don't eat a lot. So she cooks like we have like a household full of 5 teenage boys. She makes so much food. And she buys in bulk. I'm like, do we really need Costco right now? I don't know. I don't think so. There's a couple things I like from Costco, but we don't need it. But anyway, it is funny though that these people are this disconnected where they just have no idea. Like, I have no idea what milk costs. They're that disconnected. Kim should know. She's a female, but she also has servants, so she can do what she wants. More celebrity news. This is like a pop culture night. This is like mainly pop culture today, which is fine. But I thought this is nice. So this is Hailey Bieber reveals her greatest accomplishment was becoming a mom to her baby boy Jack, countering the Hollywood's anti-kid narrative.
Under accomplishments, I have here that you're a mom to a 1-year-old Jack Blues Bieber.
I am, yeah.
What's been your proudest moment about being a mom?
So far, my proudest moment was getting him out. I was proud of me for that, and I was proud of getting him safely into the world. But I feel like when you're
that is something that women should be proud of. Like, I'm watching my wife carry our baby, and it is just incredible to see this woman basically maintain her responsibilities around the household and also work and grow organs inside of her. It's just incredible. And that's why, part of the reason is like I paused this stream is to, go out and help her get her socks off. Because I appreciate what she's doing. And I think what, Hailey Bieber is saying here is really awesome.
Mom, you have proud moments like every single day. They're changing so much so often, and there's so much newness all the time, and every little tiny thing that they do makes you so proud. It's like they hiccup and you're like, oh my God, you're so good at hiccuping. Like, it's so fun.
I'm sure it's just your entire camera roll.
It's like my phone has no storage left. It's actually really crazy and embarrassing. Like, I have like 200,000 photos, and I have the most like terabytes you could possibly have of iPhone storage, and I'm out of all of them. Like, I have to go back and like delete things to make space. It's all of my son, basically.
How under accomplishment?
So I do gotta say a couple things. All right. So one, you do get, as a parent, you do get excited over these little things that your kids do that you don't even think you get excited. Like my daughter using the potty. I'm like, yeah, let's go. You're using the potty. I'm so proud of you. Like, just things like you would in any other context, it'd be weird. Like if you're cheering for, like adults going to the bathroom, it's weird, but like you do it with your kid and it's fine. It's everyone's cheering, So I get that, and that's really cool. And I've had a lot of real proud moments, this past year with my kids. Like my daughter, played soccer for the first time this year, and she just had such a great time, and she was such a good sport about it. And even moments where she missed the mark, she still was just incredible. During one of her practices, all right, she's running down the soccer field and she loses a shoe and she just keeps going. And she goes to kick the ball. She doesn't quite get it in, and somebody steps on her foot, and you could see she's in pain because her foot got stepped on by another kid with cleats, but she just keeps powering through. And I was like, this kid is amazing. My kid is amazing. And then to see her encourage her teammates, and she just saying stuff like, we're going to do our best, it's just awesome. Which is why I do think, yes, have all the kids, have them all, because it's incredible. It's just one of those things that is a peak human experience, and if you don't have them, and you can have them, you will be missing out on something really profound in your life. And also, when it comes to photos, I think we take way too many photos. I'm just being honest with you. She filled up like the highest gig possible for her iPhone. She has like 200,000 photos. Well, you don't need that many photos, okay? Like just go through and delete most of your selfies, and your storage will be freed up, okay? And then we take photos of other dumb things. Like I stopped taking I'll take photos at other people's weddings. I'll send them the photos and I'll delete all the photos that I'm not in. and that's it. Cuz I'm like, why do I care about like these random people at this wedding? Or their cake, or like the dumb things you take pictures. I just don't care. So I'm trying to be more intentional about the photos I take, but most of the stuff on my phone is like screenshots. Yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Like the most recent 20 photos, there's like 6 of my kids, and then the rest are like screenshots. What I really need is like a business phone. Really wish my parents supported me, but nope. Well, KMD, the beautiful thing is that you can turn things around when the time comes for you to have children, because I didn't get encouraged to do sports, and that's something I wish I had somebody on me encouraging me to do sports and to stay on top of me and to get involved and to be busy. I didn't have that, but because I didn't have that, I want that for my children. I want to make sure that my children get all the love and support that they need to become the people that God created them to be. So you can break that cycle. And I think that is really important. We don't have to do things the way our parents did. We can change. That's the beautiful thing about wisdom, is that you can learn from the mistakes of your parents, and you don't have to make those same mistakes. You can learn from it and do things better. And the goal is, my hope is that with each generation we improve, maybe on our parents' shortcomings. So I hope that, my daughters, they marry good men, and my son, when he's born, marries a good woman, and they're more financially better off than my wife and I are, and more morally upstanding, and just better people overall that make better decisions. That's my hope. Me, I was a subpar student. I'm already seeing my daughter excel in school, excel in work, doing her schoolwork. And that's incredible to me. She's doing sports where I wasn't really doing sport. I did like little league football, but it didn't really count because I was always benched because I was tiny. So you had all these giant kids. And there was little me where I looked like I could be the football, so it just didn't work out for me. But I did do track, but then I got lazy and decided to skip track and smoke pot, which that wasn't a good choice either. So I needed my parents to kind of guide me and say, hey, like, don't get high, Ryan, go to track. That didn't happen. So anyway, my hope is that my kids do better than I did and my wife did. And that should be the hope of all of us, but we can improve where our parents failed. And I think that is a good and a beautiful thing. All right. I think that's going to do it for me tonight. I got a couple other stories, but I'll cover them tomorrow. Or I might have an interview tomorrow. I got to see. I'm trying to get some people, track some people down and see if I can get them on the show. I had somebody fall through. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the support, KMD. I appreciate you tuning in on YouTube. For those of you watching on Rumble, thank you. I really appreciate all the love, and I hope that you guys have a very blessed night. I will be back tomorrow. Deuces.